Plus, and today I'm joined by the one and only Ice Queen, Elsa. Today we're going to be asking her different questions about her life and how it is being, like, I don't know, icy, you know? Okay, yeah. Elsa, what is it really like to have magical ice powers? I mean, like, is it as cool as it looks?
It's complicated. It's like being able to make your own personal snow cone whenever you want, but also knowing you could accidentally turn your kitchen into a glacier if you sneeze.
Ah yes, accidental indoor snowstorms. I've had a few of those. Well, metaphorically. Do you wish that you could ever, like, swap your powers for something less freezy?
Maybe something like controlling plants? That sounds peaceful. Although knowing me, I'd probably end up with a jungle overtaking Arendelle.
Plants taking over Arendelle might be quite the sight. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Have you ever turned something into ice that you didn't mean to, like your sister?
Oh, plenty of times. Let's just say the royal kitchen has seen better days.
What is with you and turning stuff into ice? You funny girl. Now that you stepped down as queen, how does it feel? Like, is it one big vacation now?
It's more like semi-retirement. I still have a lot to do, just not the whole ruling a kingdom thing. Now I spend my time in the forest with the spirits. Think of it as nature's board meeting, but with less paperwork and more magic.
So you've traded in the crown for, like, forest vibes and, like, spirit meetings and that kind of stuff? This is not a bad trade, honestly. Do you miss, like, wearing the fancy queen outfits?
Honestly, numbered dresses with fewer layers are so much easier when you're riding across the fjords on a water horse.
Dresses and water horses don't really mix, do they? Sounds like comfort is key in your new lifestyle, right?
It really is. Plus, no more worrying about whether my cape is getting caught in a door.
Be honest, do you miss living in the castle, all those royal perks, you know?
I won't lie. I do miss the hot chocolate delivery service, but the enchanted forest has its own charm. Plus, the wind spirit keeps things exciting. Imagine getting your hair styled by a gust of wind every morning.
That sounds convenient in some ways, but I don't think I'm ready for a wind stylist yet. It's all fun and games till you end up with a permanent windswept look. Just me.
I've learned to work with it, though some days it's less windswept chic and more tornado aftermath.
Tornado aftermath seems pretty intense. Do the spirits ever get a little too playful?
Oh, absolutely. Gale has a habit of whisking away important documents mid-conversation.
That's unfortunate. How do you really feel about Anna being queen now? Do you give her, like, big sister queen advice?
Anna doesn't need much advice. She's a natural. But I do offer the occasional, don't start your day with 10 meetings tip. And I keep reminding her not to let Kristoff name any official holidays after reindeer.
Reindeer Day sounds like a potential disaster. Or maybe a lot of fun if you're into that sort of thing, I guess.
Kristoff would absolutely be into it, but Anna's keeping him in check, don't worry.
Good to know. Good to know. So does Kristoff ever get to enact any of his reindeer ideas, or is Anna pretty strict about that?
She lets him have small victories, like Reindeer Appreciation Week, but only unofficially.
If you can go back and change one thing about your journey, what would it be?
I'd probably tell my younger self to stop running away so much. It was my go-to move for a while. You'd think I was in a marathon with how often I fled the scene.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of running up mountain moments in your past. But to be fair, those ice castles you made along the way were pretty epic.
They did take a lot of practice. Still not sure how I pulled off that spiral staircase on the first try.
That spiral staircase was definitely a statement piece. Did you have, like, a favorite part of your ice castle?
The chandelier. It had just the right amount of sparkle and danger.
Are you, like, still discovering new things about your powers, or is it all discovered?
There's always something new. Last week, I accidentally made it snow indoors. Turns out, decorating for a party with snowflakes is tricky when you're trying not to freeze the appetizers.
I can imagine the frozen appetizers being a bit of a problem, unless they're ice cream. I love ice cream. Do you have, like, a favorite ice sculpture you've made recently?
Actually, I sculpted a giant snowman that dances. Olaf loved it, until it accidentally stepped on his foot.
Olaf must have been less than thrilled about that. That hurts. Did you manage to fix it before things got out of hand?
Oh, Olaf forgave me immediately. He's used to my accidents.
Tell me more about your connection with the magical spirits in the forest. Are they more like your friends or like your coworkers?
I'd say they're magical friends with a dash of coworkers. We have a mutual respect. Gale, the wind spirit, for example, is playful but can get a bit cheeky.
So are the fire and water spirits as playful?
Bruni, the fire spirit, is adorable, but has a habit of setting things on fire when he's excited. And the earth giants? They're like giant, grumpy uncles. Slow but steady, and a little stubborn.
Grumpy uncles made of rocks? I can imagine those family reunions get pretty dense. Will you ever move back to Arendelle, or is, like, the forest life the permanent plan now?
I think forest life is where I belong. Arendelle is Anna's kingdom now. I'll visit often, but I've got a whole enchanted forest to look after. And honestly, the air is much fresher out here.
Plus, no royal duties or palace paperwork to deal with. Huh. That's a plus, right?
No meetings, no signing decrees. Just me, the spirits, and the occasional snowstorm.
Sounds like you're very balanced, but do you ever get homesick, though?
Sometimes, but then I remember how peaceful it is here.
What's the best piece of advice that you've given Anna?
I once told her to never underestimate the power of chocolate. But you'd be surprised how many crises a good chocolate bar can solve.
I completely agree. Chocolate solves at least 50% of life's problems. What about the other 50%?
That's where hugs come in. Anna's always been the expert on those.
Hugs and chocolate. That sounds like the perfect recipe for happiness. Does Anna still come to you for advice now that she's queen and she has Kristoff?
Now and then, but mostly we just talk as sisters. No royal titles needed.
So, any chance you're gonna find your own true love someday?
I want to find someone to call my own. Know of anyone who likes magical ice women?
So, what do you think of Jack Frost?
See, that is complicated. He has been around for hundreds of years, but does not age. So it would be like dating an 18-year-old boy who is also like 1,000 years old at the same time. I'm, not really about that.
Is there anywhere outside of Arendelle that you'd love to visit, like a vacation spot, somewhere outside of all the snow?
You know, I've heard great things about the Southern Isles, but maybe not the best idea considering, well, Huns. So maybe somewhere warm, like Hawaii? I'm sure the locals would appreciate me turning their beach into a winter wonderland. For a minute.
Just a minute. If you had one day without your powers, what would you do?
I'd probably spend the whole day sunbathing. I haven't felt warm in ever. Though I'd likely end up with the world's fastest sunburn.
Snorkeling problems. What's your advice for someone trying to figure out their own path in life?
Take it one step at a time and don't be afraid to make mistakes. I mean, I literally froze an entire kingdom once. So, no pressure.
If you can bounce back from that, I think we can all survive a bad day at work. Do you think making mistakes has helped you discover more about yourself?
Absolutely. Each one has led me to where I am today.
What was the hardest part of learning to control your powers?
Definitely the fear. When you're scared of hurting people you care about, it's hard to let go. But once I faced that fear, it became easier, though sneezing in public is still a bit risky.
A snowstorm every time you sneeze. Do you carry tissues with you just in case, you know?
I have an enchanted handkerchief. It's saved me many times.
What's something people don't know about you that might surprise them?
I'm actually terrible at ice skating. Everyone assumes I'm a pro, but let's just say I've had some very undignified falls.
No way, the Ice Queen can't skate?
Believe me, it's ironic. I can create ice, but staying upright on it, a whole different story.
Do you ever wonder what your life would look like without magic?
I think I'd be more relaxed, probably spend more time in warm climates, but I wouldn't trade my powers. They're part of me, even with all the ups and downs.
Sounds like you've come to terms with who you are, ice and all. It's all part of growing, right? Thank you so much for letting me ask you some questions and interview you today. And if you would like me to interview any other characters or Disney princesses or anything, leave it in the comments down below.